I'm Reince Priebus, the free market warrior, and after 3 weeks traveling around Wisconsin, I'm at my very last night in the state of Wisconsin. It's so sad. And I'm here finishing it off with the Sheboygan Liberty Coalition. I will miss all the Wisconsinites. Tomorrow I'm in Minnesota, by the way, and I'm here tonight, though, with a free market warrior moment. Reince Priebus, the chairman of the Republican Party, is making the news this week, issuing a scathing report on his own party. He says that there's a perception that the Republican Party is a bunch of old white men, a bunch of fuddy-duddies who are stuffy and uninterested in everybody else. And I suspect there's some truth to that. I think it's pretty clear that the Republican Party does have an image problem. They do have a marketing problem, and it makes sense, as with any other institution or brand, it makes sense that Reince Priebus is trying to improve his brand's reputation by doing a better job of communicating with the country at large. So that's all fine. But I want to separate this from a mistaken notion that's also out there, and it's also something that's being seeded by the Democrats, and that is that the Republican Party is too extreme. And that, my friends, is patent nonsense. The idea that either Mitt Romney or John McCain, or for that matter the Bushes or Bob Dole, that any of these people have been anything you could call extreme is simply ridiculous. And is the Tea Party extreme? Why? Because they want to balance the budget? Have we gotten to a world where printing trillions of dollars for the government to borrow from itself and go into debt, that's moderate, and balancing the budget is extreme? How preposterous. The fact is that the Republican Party may be a bunch of fuddy-duddies who need to do a better job of communicating, but they're not extreme. In fact, I think part of what the Republican Party needs to do is develop some core principles and believe in something and fight for it. And the obvious thing for them to believe in is a smaller government. And if you're going to tell me that they believe in a smaller government now, I would say you're not paying attention. The Republican Party needs to adopt the concept of a smaller government because they're not there. And I wanted to define this. There are three major characteristics to people who seriously believe in a smaller government. The first is that they're looking not to slow the rate of growth, but an actually significantly, materially smaller government. Real reductions smaller than it is now. The second characteristic of serious people is that they're talking about doing these reductions as quickly as possible. The idea of phasing them in is simply ridiculous. If you're having a financial crisis because you've been living beyond your means, the solution is to stop digging yourself deeper in debt right now, not phasing it in over a long period of time. And the third characteristic of serious people is that they're looking at eliminating, not reducing, whole departments and whole functions of government. People who share these beliefs are the majority of the Republican Party. And when the Republican Party begins the process of recreating itself, as it must, those ideas need to be at the core. I'm the free market warrior.